does it? Let's play some classic Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo sounds like a good idea. One of my favorite consoles has one of the best classics on there too. Castlevania, Contra, Top Gun, even Spider-Man on the NES. But I wonder, what would be a good game to review? But you know what, for today, this one caught my eye. Captain Skyhawk. And it's the only one that has a rattle inside, so I don't even know if it works or not. The only description on the front is some jet and a giant Death Star in the background. Who knows? Let's give a new game a try.
Alright, well, let's put it in the Nintendo. Whoa, what? What happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened. I got a note with this console. It says, "Have fun with your Shrink Nintendo, Dr. Amigo." Well, I had a whole review in mind, and now I'm stuck with this mini Nintendo. I guess I have to review this? I don't have any other option. Well, hello everyone. This is the Game Review Show. Welcome to my new video. Like I said earlier, today I don't really have much of a choice but to review this mini console. Anyway, I did a little bit of research on it, and I don't think he actually shrink rated my system. I think he just stole it and just left this one and thinking I wouldn't really notice. What he had seemed to left me was a NES clone, almost. It looks like the NES Classic, but at first glance. But if you look a little closer, it's actually way different. It's actually a bootleg version. It has like 600 games on it. It's one of those consoles that you get at those flea markets that have like a billion games loaded onto one. You know, the one with the cheap China Famiclones? Yeah, that's what you're getting right here. So as a company, what better way to make money than to profit off a giant craze of mini video game consoles that people were onto? So let's do that. Let's take a closer look at this mini console that Amigo left me. Alright, so here's the NES Classic. And I'm saying this in quotations because, have I said so many times, this isn't an NES Classic. If we closely inspect the box, you can see that it just says Entertainment System. Well, that's weird. Isn't it supposed to say Nintendo Entertainment System? Well, I guess it's a very funny way to get away with copyright issues. And another one, the NES Classic doesn't use this type of port controller. It uses the Wii one, while this one uses the Atari/Sega Genesis type controller. I forget what they're called, but you know what I'm talking about. Much like the NES Classic, the lid doesn't actually open, so I guess they got that right. I mean, if you look at it, they pretty much got everything right. The system actually looks like a Nintendo. Moving on to the back, we have the power input, which is like a USB-C. I think that's what it's called. The back is bizarre. It's like an audio jack, but with RCA. Now, I've seen these before, and I haven't seen many things that use this, but they're out there. And a lot of crappy Chinese bootlegs use this type of RCA for some reason. Maybe it's cheaper? I don't know. But it's really weird. So that's about everything with the console. Well, so far I've only showed you the console. What about the controller? How the hell are we going to play this? Well, here it is. The NES Mini Controller. And would you be surprised that it actually looks like an NES controller? Now I measured this thing and it's the same exact size as a regular NES controller. As weird as it is, I kind of like that it's very light too. I like the cheap feeling of this NES controller. I don't know, it's just a personal preference. Taking a closer look, we see that the only thing missing is that Nintendo logo on the top. But other than that, it looks exactly like a Nintendo controller. It even goes as far as making the buttons concave, like in the actual NES controller. The D-pad does feel a little weird and cheap, but honestly, for a crappy bootleg, I wouldn't really expect much either. So really, actually, how will this mini NES put up with the actual NES Classic? Well, let's plug it in and find out. Well, the select screen is pretty boring. All it is a blue blank screen. It really does look like those crappy bootlegs. Well, your first options are Contra 1 through 8, RoboCop 1 through 4, and so on and so on. Now, you might think this thing has 620 games, but it really doesn't. At the most 100 games, but not anything. After that, they just keep repeating until they reach 620. Scrolling through the list here, and whoa, is that Mario 10? Did anyone else play Mario 10? Or hell, Mario 12 and 14? No one's gonna ask where 11 or 13 went. Just Mario 10, 12, and 14. Well, I was 20 games into the list and I already found some crusty bootlegs. Mortal Kombat 4. Now, all bootlegs aside, this thing does come packed with some NES titles. Well, they are pretty chopped up, and some of them might just be the PAL versions, or the Japanese versions. Now, to say an NES title is a very slim thing, because what they do is they just take off, like, usually the title or something, or they take off any endorsement that says it's made by Nintendo, and just leave it blank. Anyway, let's try one of my favorite games, Contra 1. Contra 30p, which means you just start with 30 rests instead of having to put the 30 live code. Assault Gun, Luke. Okay, now this is just out of hand. Contra 8? I don't think there were 8 Contra games. Well, we might as well try one of them. Maybe it's just regular Contra? Well, that's actually really cool. You can just go to a certain stage and practice it. And it starts you out with the spread gun and a bunch of lives. Not bad. And every time you die and respawn, it gives you the spread gun again. So, I guess it's a hacked version of Contra? Makes it easier, and a hell of a lot more fun! You kidding me? This game is so hard. Like, genuinely, I enjoy this. This game put a smile on my face. Wow, that's surprising. Now, one thing I can't stop laughing at is Mario 10, 12, and 14. Why is there only 10, 12, and 14? Where did the rest of the games go? What is going on? That's Mario 10? Super Bros Kung Fu Mari. What in the world? Can someone explain what I'm playing? Please, someone God, tell me what is going on. I got no words. Because this is definitely not an original game, so they must have had to grab a sprite and just slap a Mario head on it. For me, it just looks like the Wario from Wario Land 3, but crossed over with a Dr. Amigo head. I know, I swear I keep bringing Dr. Amigo up, but what do you expect? Look at it. Look at Dr. Amigo and look at this guy. And tell me, what do you think? Anyway, it's just a smelly bootleg of a Jackie Chan game. Can't believe I'm playing this. Look at that! His knee is going through his head! What? Oh my god. Only on bootlegs. I chose something that was, out of the ordinary. Alright, let's try a bootleg classic, Street Fighter on NES. Now, if I recall, this game was released in arcade and in Super Nintendo. Unless you talk about Street Fighter 2010, but Street Fighter, the arcade version. And you'll be surprised of how much booty this game sucks. Just look at it. Are you kidding me? And it plays like butt too. This game is supposed to be played with 4 buttons, and you only have 2. So, how are you supposed to do anything? I don't know. I can't pull off a special move at all. In fact, my opponent got a freaking perfect score on me. Well, okay, you could say, is that really all there is to this bootleg console? A bunch of crappy ported games onto it? Pretty much, yeah. I guess I could sit here and review all the games on here, but that would take way too long, and honestly, if you guys want to see that sometime, I guess I'll spare a couple of days to making this project to reviewing all the games that are on there. But as of now, that kind of just concludes the whole thing. There isn't that much that's fun in here. So yeah, in conclusion, guys, don't get fooled out there. If you're looking for the NES Classic, make sure you thoroughly inspect the console and look for the points that I called out. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, subscribe, and let me know what you guys want to see in the next video. But for now, I have to go find this stupid doctor and tell him to give me my freaking Nintendo back.